Well, welcome. My name's Kathy Amarati. I work in the Micron Foundation, and I'm very excited to welcome you all to the third week of Techie Tuesday. It's a partnership put on by the Silicon Valley Education Foundation and Micron Technology. And then I'm going to turn it over to Luong.
Hi there. Good afternoon, everybody. So first of all, I want to thank Kathy and Cynthia for giving me this opportunity to actually do this presentation for everybody. And today I want to share in terms of my perspective as a senior technical recruiter at Micron, in terms of your roadmap to becoming, landing an engineering job, okay? Do a quick introduction about myself. So I've been with Micron for almost 3 years already, but I've been doing recruiting for the past 15 years. So I'm actually AIR certified internet recruiters. I'm actually LinkedIn certified professional recruiter as well. I've done quite a bit actually international recruiting experience. I'm actually doing that right now at Micron as well. We recruit a lot of folks actually from Korea and also from Italy and from other countries as well, Canada as well, okay? I'm actually also a certified human resources professionals. And I do actually have a degree in human resources and computer information system. I'm actually the first generation here in the U.S. To actually obtain a college degree. So me and my other siblings are actually, it was a struggle for us. I mean, English was not our primary language. We speak Cantonese and Vietnamese, so it was took quite a bit of adjustment to actually get acclimated to the U.S. and learning how to speak English as well. So we struggle, but overall, we never gave up. We work hard, always study hard, because we always believe in educations. And to this day, I still believe that if you actually have an education, you have a degree, that actually takes you a little bit further. I know a lot of you actually might think, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, they did it. Why not you? But when you look at the probability, it is actually very, very slim for anybody to be very successful without a degree. The majority of actually the successful people, when we hire people actually even at managers, director levels, they actually have a degree, either a bachelor, master, or PhD. Okay, what did I do for Micron actually? So I actually hire mostly engineers. I don't, seldom do I actually hire a general administrative staff. So my role is actually find the best talents for Micron and actually help us grow. And how do I become a recruiter? Well, it's a pretty interesting story. I actually initially, my degree was actually computer information system. I want to be a techie back in the 80s. So when I graduated, the dot-com burst. So I couldn't, knowing that I couldn't find an IT job. So I was working full-time as an HR assistant. So I said, I might as well actually get a degree in human resources. And luckily I did. But it took a while. It took about 6 years. I was about to give up, but I told myself, no, I'm not going to give up because I spent so many years already in school. I got to actually obtain my degree, and which I did. Once I actually graduated with a human resources degree in computer information system, I landed an HR job right away. So I was actually become more like a benefits administrator, and then I moved my way actually to become a recruiter. So I highly, believe in, recommend you actually believe in yourself. It's very important that you believe in yourself. And if you do believe in yourself, you could be very, very successful. So never give up on yourself, okay? Okay, first thing first. So I know most of you are actually freshmen, sophomore, junior, or senior actually in high school. But keep in mind, your first 3 years in high school is very, very important. Your GPA actually going to determine what's college and university you're going to be accepted to. Always study hard for the SAT and the ACT test as well. So try to do well, do your best, and get some coaching if you need to. Get a study partner. So those are the two main criteria for most university when they actually accept you to to their university. And never give up actually trying to apply for the best engineering school. So here are some of the schools here that's ranked by U.S. News. And as you can see, MIT's number 1, Stanford's number 2, UC Berkeley's number 3, USC's number 10, UCLA's number 16, Harvard's number 22, UC Davis 33, and Yale. When you think about it, Yale, you assume they would actually be at least top 10. But when you think, most schools actually focus on certain area. So not every school actually focus on engineering. So keep that in mind when you apply for any colleges, is to do your research, find the best schools for you. If you really want to go into construction, I would actually recommend you actually look into Colorado School of Mines. They're actually ranked number 59. But I've been there, I recruited there before. We got a lot of good students there that actually, when I used to work for a construction company, when we hire a lot of folks to actually help us build the man-made island in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai. So I had the opportunity to actually hire a lot of good engineers. And University of Arizona, we hire a lot of students right now, actually at Micron too, from University of Florida and University of Arizona. So it doesn't really have to be a top university, but the likelihood of you actually landing a good job in any big organization is actually the most important thing, is actually go to the best engineering school, do well, and study hard, okay? And let's say if something happened due to your personal situations, what I mean, you're not accepted to any of these top universities, don't worry. Like I mentioned, never give up, okay? Don't give up on yourself. Attend a junior college if you need to. And once you're done with the junior college, you'll be the first to be admitted to any university. Because I believe anybody with an AA degree, they have the first priority in terms of acceptance from any university. So you do actually have options. Any questions?
No questions from the students, but I have a question for you, Long.
Sure.
In terms of going to a junior college, there's lots of options, different associate's degrees the students can go after. Do you have any recommendations of the types of courses that students should look at for a junior college?
Yeah, really depend on your interest. And the most important thing is actually visit the campus, right? Make sure that's the right campus for you. Do some research on the junior college. Make sure they have, some good teachers there and the courses you want to take. And talk to a career counselor. Always actually stop by the career counselor's, office. Introduce yourself. Don't be shy. Talk to him or her. Ask for the guidance. They will actually give you the whole breakdown, what you need to do to actually, um, obtain your, interest in certain, area in terms of engineering. Because engineering could be very, very broad. It could be electrical, mechanical, it could be software, right? So engineering is very, very broad. Any other questions?
I do have a question. Um, the student's name is, and I apologize if I mispronounce it, Sudesh, Sudesh. I'll ask the first part of the question. It says, does it matter which school you go to if it's ranked in the top 20?
Not really. The most important thing, I'm on my next line is talk about LinkedIn. Very, very important. Network. You do some internship too. I'll cover it on the following slide too about internship too. Those are very, very important factors when landing a job. Sometimes we have some, students from UC Berkeley. We don't hire every student from UC Berkeley, right? So most of the folks we hire, people reach out to me directly or to the hiring managers and go to the job fairs. It's all this networking, this relationship, and it's not about having the best grade. We look for other characteristics too. Someone who's very actually a team worker, team player, I should say, that can collaborate, can communicate effectively, someone who can think out of the box as well. So there's so many factors besides the school itself and the GPA. So if you actually attend, let's say if you actually attend one of the 50 best university, you don't have to worry. I mean, the chance of you landing a job are much, much greater than folks that actually don't actually attend the top, university. But overall, never give up. Always network. Always, reach out to the recruiters, the hiring managers. Introduce yourself.
There are no other questions at this time. Oh, actually, there is one that just came in. What time would you recommend to start building your resume for college?
You should start building it right now. Actually, if you're actually a junior or senior status, it's always helpful to actually start, building your resume right now. because as time progresses, you might forget certain things you do. So if you actually start building your resume, you actually have a template ready. So once you actually go into, because I actually seen a high school student doing internship. I'll talk about that in a few minutes too. That really actually makes your resume and your LinkedIn profile shines.
Okay.
Go ahead.
As a okay. Right. As a follow-up, what would you like aside from internships? What would you recommend for building your resume? Like actions to do?
You can always actually, if you're in high school right now, take some courses. There's some, junior JC university, junior colleges. They do actually offer some software engineering classes that high school students can attend. That really actually makes your resume or LinkedIn profile stands out. Not only that, that really actually help you for college as well. Sometimes you do get college credit as well. And on top of that, you can actually get certifications, right? Depending what you want to do. Let's say you want to be a project manager. There's PM certifications. You might want to get a head start and actually, get some books, study on how to become a project manager.
Thanks.
If you're not asking a question, please stay muted. I have another question. We have a lot of questions pouring in. This is great. One, Shika, she says she's not able to unmute, says, what time do you think you should start looking for internships? So it was already mentioned about high school or college. Do you have a recommendation there, Luong?
Yeah, so since your first 3 years, when you think about it in high school, right, that's the most important years for you in terms of the GPA factors for you to be considered for any university. So as a senior status, you can actually relax a little bit. So maybe take less course and actually try to land an internship during the summer or actually after school. So trying to do some research. I'll talk about it actually on my next slide too about internship. But ask around. Small companies or startups, they sometimes they're willing to consider high school students for internship. That really actually makes you stand out and give you very good working experience as well. And most internship nowadays is paid internship, so you get paid for it. Back in the 80s, when I try to look for internship, we don't get paid for it. Sometimes I had to beg to actually get an intern job, and it was pretty hard to get an intern job position actually back in the 80s. But now more companies are actually offering internships.
There's a question by Soham Kulkarni. Would you like to ask?
Yeah, so you've been talking about internships, but I'd like to ask, like, what types of activities and competitions would you recommend to build your resume?
Activities, right? There's always engineering clubs, right? You can actually join hacking clubs depending if you're a software engineer. So there's clubs and organization you can actually join and actually make you stand out. And always volunteers as well. When you volunteers, one student actually help when you submit your application for colleges as well. So volunteers, if you have time over the weekend or after school, that really makes you stand out.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Got a couple questions that were typed in. We already had a bit about internships discussed. They're talking about looking at May or June after school ends, or should they start earlier to pursue internships?
It's really depend if you have a full load in terms of school. School should always be your top priority from my perspective. Okay, so try to do well in school, and if you can actually do internship in the summer, that would be best. So this way you can actually, and most company actually hire interns actually during the summertime. So try to actually land an internship during the summer. This actually doesn't distract you from learning as well, right, from school. So highly encourage you to do well in school.
And one more question before we go on to the next slide from ACES, AASEES. I just unmuted you. Would you ask your question?
Sure. So do the courses you take in high school affect your career at all? Like, for example, like I want to go into biomedical engineering. So in high school, should I design my courses around that specifically?
No, when we actually recruit for college new grads, we look at their curriculum actually at the university level, not high school. But from high school perspective, if you're likely, be a like you mentioned, a biology or any major that is relevant, you might take classes that are relevant in terms of your degree, like chemical engineering, whatever is relevant, you should take those courses that actually give you the foundation, right, to prepare you for college. High school is actually is a starting point, give you the foundations, so this way you learn what you need to, learn, so prepare you for the next step, which is, getting your bachelor degree. And when you're ready for your bachelor degree, you want to actually obtain the master degree, which I highly recommend, is actually take another 2 years, 1 or 2 years, and actually get your master degree. And keep in mind, one thing I learned when I went to a UC Berkeley is that certain school, like UT Austin's too, I believe, you can actually have a 5 years roadmap to get your master degree instead of 6 years. They condense some of the courses where you can actually take less classes and actually get a master degree within 5 years, not even 6 years. So highly recommend you do some research, reach out to the university career counselor, look at their, career portals, learn more about the engineering degree they offers, and make sure that's the right school for you.
Why don't we go ahead to the next slide? I do have a few more questions, but we could bring those in if there's time.
So we were talking about LinkedIn, right? So if you don't have an account right now, it's a good time to actually create an account, work on it, and upload your skills, any engineering projects you may have, any volunteer activities. And if you have any certification, enter it, okay? That's gonna actually makes your LinkedIn profile shine. So start building it, network with some other engineers from maybe Apple, Micron, for any company that you like to work with in the future. Try to hook up so this way you can actually, start your networking, right? The more networks you have, the bigger networks you have, the better chance you actually landing a job once you graduate from any university. Find a mentor if you can actually talk to your parents wherever they work. They could be working for a certain company. They have a lot of engineers. You can actually ask if somebody can be a mentor for you, so they can actually guide you through and actually give you some good advice in terms of how to become a mechanical engineer, software engineers, or electrical engineers. So those mentors can give you lots of good, recommendations, what you need to do to become an engineer. And I'm going to share a LinkedIn profile here too from one of the students that we did a mock interview last year. And his LinkedIn profile, I'll share that with you. So this way you can take a look. Okay, you guys see Kevin Wang's LinkedIn profile?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's actually a senior right now at Irvington High School, and he actually got accepted to Berkeley. So he works very hard, and he actually listed some of his top skills here: cybersecurity, machine learning, data science, artificial intelligence. Those are stuff that he really wants to do and learn, and give a good quick summary about himself. And if you time permits right now, summer is coming up, create your, own website. That's what he did, you know. So right now, most of us are actually staying at home or working from home for us, but for you guys, you're actually, I believe you're actually at home right now, right? Doing online courses. So he actually went on GitHub and actually created his own personal website. He actually indicate activities that he's interested in, and he actually did actually have some good experience here too.
Very cool.
And on top of that, he also lists his education already. So this is actually a good start right here. He also listed his license, his certifications. So just want to share just a quick LinkedIn profile for you.
We have a question about if there are good methods or places on top of LinkedIn to seek out internships and volunteer opportunities. And then also, how early should people start? Should students start looking for internships?
You can actually start doing your senior school in high school and actually start looking. And one way you can do is actually do a research on local university. Let's go to the next slide here. You can actually do your internship during the college break, summer break, right? In college too. That's the best time to do your internship. One way to do it, look for local companies where you actually live, whatever cities, look for small little company where they're willing to actually hire high school students or startups. I used to work for a startup too. We hire a few high school students for our interns. And network, talk to the managers, talk to your parents, talk to your parents' friends, you know what I mean? That's why LinkedIn, you can reach out to people on LinkedIn, someone you might not know of, have a first connection, send them an email and ask if they have opportunity for you to actually intern for the summer. So when you think about it, when you actually intern with any organization, and if it's a great company you want to work for, and you do well, and they have an opportunity for you in the future, they're going to hire you once you graduate. That's the whole point of internship, right? Is to make sure that you enjoy your the internship there. You do well. That's the right organizations. So if it's the right organizations and you're actually interested in the job itself, they'll hire you directly for a full-time position once you graduate. Not only that, it actually built a great experience on your resumes, and you can actually use those experiences to actually help you land another job. In the future, because what you learn actually doing your internship actually helps a lot. So I would highly recommend you do some research. Talk to your parents, talk to your parents, coworkers, if they know anybody, any company that willing to actually accept high school students for internship.
One of the clarifications was how early in the year should students start applying? Is fall too early, or is it really like right before the summer, spring timeframe?
You should always do it at least 3 to 6 months in advance, because most of the positions actually end up being, filled very, very fast. Because you think about it, you're probably not the only high school students looking for internship. So, and there's going to be a lot of competition out there. So you got to make sure you shine. That's why we highly recommend you actually set up a LinkedIn account. Start building your resume. Start doing volunteers. Talk to people that actually in certain engineering clubs or organizations where you can join. So this actually give you a lot of connections where it's going to help you out landing a job. Sometimes certain positions is not posted online when you think about it, and sometimes it could be referred by by someone who actually worked in that particular companies.
We've got a couple more minutes here. Are there any other questions? There's been some great ones so far. Anything to do with finding a college, pursuing either 4-year degree or 2-year degree? Nothing. I'm not getting anything else in my chat. Oh, here's one. Isabel, are you able to unmute yourself? Would you like to ask your own question? If I can find you. Actually, there's a couple of the same type of questions. I'll go ahead and ask it. Isabel and Josh, if you want to unmute and follow up, the question is it worth it going for a master's degree or a PhD?
Yes. Some jobs require a master degree. When you think about it, nowadays, most of the folks that actually have a bachelor degree, that's great actually, but the folks with a master degree, they actually have a better opportunity to actually land a better job in a way. And in terms of compensations too, when you have a master degree, most organizations pay you higher too, in terms of wages and everything else. And it give you a better chance of landing the job. So a master degree is highly encouraged if that's something is an interest to you, or even a PhD. And in the US, when I do a lot of recruiting, and believe it or not, most of the folks that I actually recruit are foreign nationals. Due to the fact, the position itself require a master degree, and most of the U.S. Students here don't have a master degree. So we do only have a few. We do hire a very small amount of the U.S. citizens or permanent resident here. So highly recommend if you actually have a master, go for your master. If time permits, that give you a very, very good opportunity to actually land a job with a very, good organizations.
Isabel, I just unmuted you. Would you like to ask a follow-up question? If not, that's fine. All right. Well, Luong, if you want to give any last minute comments, I think we're pushing up to the end of time.
Yeah, I just want to encourage you guys to actually always believe in yourself, because in high school, that's something I lacked. I don't want you guys to actually, be in the same boat like I am. Always believe in yourself. Try your best and never give up. And if you keep those three things in mind, you do well, and hopefully you land a great, engineering job once you, graduate from university. Hopefully this helps. But feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions in the future. Okay. Take care.
Luong, there is one person asked if you could share your email.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be my first name, Long, Luong, last name, P as in Peter, HU, at Micron.com. So it's my first name, last name, at Micron.com.
And one more question just popped in. What about virtual online internships? Would those be valuable as well?
Oh, definitely. Any internship will actually help. Due to the COVID-19 situation at Micron, we have a lot of our interns probably going to actually end up doing a virtual internship.
All right, well, thank you very much, Luong, and thank you all the students for questions and those that were helping me behind the scenes as well. Tune in next week, same time. We hope to have the Facebook live stream going as well, so you'll have a couple options to view. And stay safe, stay healthy, and believe in yourself. Look for those STEM opportunities in your future.
Thank you, everybody.